Firefox is configured to use proxy. Let's open Google. The proxy intercepts every JavaScript file and instruments it. Instruments to add a tracing statement into every function in JavaScript file. Like this. The tracing statement collects function call statistics and uploads it back to the proxy. So the proxy knows the total number of JavaScript functions it has seen and the number of functions actually invoked in the browser. And to render the initial Google search page, it took 27% of all the JavaScript functions. Let's search for something. The search results page loads some new script. So we now have 6,000 functions comparing to 5,900 previously. So several hundred more functions are loaded, and the usage ratio is 31%, almost 32% of the functions are invoked by the browser. If we navigate to the following pages of search results, the statistics doesn't change much, almost the same usage ratio. Let's open images. The images tab also loads some new scripts. So we now have 11,000 functions and the usage ratio is around 32%. Previously we had 2,000 functions invoked and now 3,000 functions of total 11,000. Let's try to invoke more JavaScript by clicking this page, trying its UI 35%. Still 35. %. Languages. Navigate to a different page. It loads more scripts. When we reload pages, the proxy does not duplicate numbers for already seen functions. When the proxy sees a script which is already processed, its functions are not counted again. So the numbers we see, this total number of functions, is aggregated across all the pages but without duplications, and the number of invoked functions is also aggregated aggregated from all the pages and also without duplications. Let's return to the search results. After we navigated to the settings, we still have around 35% usage ratio. Let's switch to the videos. Again, some new scripts. 33% of functions were invoked by the browser. Some duration. So the picture is more or less clear. As we try more features, new scripts are loaded, but the total usage ratio remains around the same level, 35, somewhere around 35%. The maximum we saw was 37%. Books. Okay, nothing changes. Let's try GitHub. I will restart this proxy to reset the statistics. Instrumenting the JavaScript files takes some time, so the page loads a little bit slower than usually. Rendering the initial page state takes 21% of the functions. GitHub doesn't have many dynamic JavaScript elements. It usually reloads the page. So now we will aggregate the statistics from many pages. I'm not going to create a repository, just will use the page to invoke more JavaScript. %. 29. Issues, pull requests, labels, milestones, wiki, 33%. 35%. $35. Some new scripts were loaded. Graph lib. %. $35. So around 35%. Let's try to edit some file in the editor, because editor might be a relatively large JavaScript application. It loads new script, the editor itself, and Lisp mode for the editor. The usage ratio is around 34% now. %. Let's try another language. it loads Java mode, the usage ratio remains approximately the same. Preview changes 37%. Oh. So we have tried more features than typical GitHub web session, I believe, and the usage ratio remains around 35. Maximum that we saw is 37%. And as we try more features again, some new scripts are loaded, but the usage ratio of JavaScript functions remains approximately the same. This error is normal, it's just when we close or switch to another page, browser terminates connection, like this. Let's try another web application which I'm going to use as a test bench for actual code removal, unused code removal, and which is small enough to try every feature of this application quickly. So to be sure we covered exhaustively all the JavaScript code which can be possibly involved in the browser. It's my small application. I need to restart the proxy to reset the statistics. This application doesn't use many libraries, so it's relatively dense in the sense of active code, relation of ratio of active code to unused code. Rendering the initial page takes 27%. As we start using it, ratio grows a little bit. Reapply the settings. Save JSON. Reload the page and load the JSON. Rearrange the tree. %, and the last, save to Google Drive. This operation loads Google JavaScript libraries. Now we have 5,000 functions comparing to 1,000 previously, and the usage ratio drops to 35%. Reload the page to open the document by this ID. Share. Sharing loads some more scripts. I'm not going to share, just try various UI elements to invoke more JavaScript. 37%. And that's it. We have tried all the features of this application. We can also get detailed statistics by JavaScript file. This file is the application code base itself. It contains my own code, jQuery, some other small libraries, and the rest are Google libraries loaded dynamically. So of my own code base, half is used, 50%, and the rest remains unused. I'm going to record also Google documents, because it's a relatively large web application. It's interesting to see the proportion of active and unused JavaScript code there. Large scripts take more time to process. By the way, it wasn't easy to hook into the applications, because we need to hook into HTTPS. When we hook into HTTPS, WebSockets stop working. But no, WebSockets were relevant for GitHub. GitHub uses WebSockets, but we saw that everything works at GitHub. So missing WebSockets, I believe, do not change the numbers significantly, and we can trust the numbers we have. In particular, Google Documents also work well. Everything works. The documents save. We can edit from several browsers simultaneously. So rendering the document took 30% of the functions. The total number of functions is 23,000, and 7,000 are actually invoked. Let's try various features. Change styles, font size, zoom, undo, redo, insert link. Another system definition facility is a Common Lisp library. System definition tool. insert equation. %. That's probably equation engine script. Full screen. Exit full screen. Compact controls. Close equation. Toolbar. Insert footnote. Insert comment. Insert special character. Horizontal line. Page number. Page count. Page break. Header. Footer. Bookmark. Link. Remove. Table of contents. Refresh the table of contents. %. Define. Tools. 32%. Table. Insert table. Table properties. Insert row above. Insert row below. Delete row. Delete column. Insert column left. Insert column right. So we have probably tried more features than typical document editor user in a normal session, and we have usage ratio of almost 45%. Well, that's it. I think in typical web application, less than half of JavaScript is used. Usually around 1/3 of JavaScript is actually invoked by the user's browser, and it's difficult to get more than 50%. I think the rest of the JavaScript code is just dead code.